He's so fun. The ISIS does a fantastic job with him.
Hi, this is Dan Morantz. I'm a realtor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, New England Properties in Westerly, and I'm also the creator and founder of Westerly Waves, a place where we meet the people and organizations that make Westerly and the surrounding area a better place. Today I'm sitting with Lee Paradis of Horses Healing Humans. Lee, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm thrilled.
Appreciate it.
I love horses, so this
They're
is one
pretty
of.
special.
I was very excited when Donna, who is a member of the Artist Co-op, and I know her, told me about you. I said, let's get together.
Great.
So Lee, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with Horses Healing Humans.
How I landed in this chair.
Yes.
I was working in dentistry for 35 years. Always had a background in horses. Spotty here and there. You know, while I was raising my daughter, I wasn't working with horses much, but they've always been therapeutic for me. And on my way to work in a dental office, one morning, a guy pulled out in front of me. He stopped at the stop sign and then pulled out and stopped again in front of me. So I couldn't avoid hitting him. And I ended up with a traumatic brain injury and carpal tunnel injuries, which kind of ended my career in dentistry, but started my career in this.
So you founded Horses Healing Humans?
I founded Horses Healing Humans a couple years after that. I had a couple years of recovery to do. I couldn't think, I couldn't speak properly, I had no grip. So I had a lot of therapy with horses that helped me to kind of overcome those disabilities that I had after the accident. And I didn't have any other options for employment, so I started this program, and that was part of my healing process as well. So
tell us about Horses Healing Humans. What is their mission? What do you do? How does it work?
That's a multi-step answer.
It was a multi-step question, so.
We do that a lot. We work with people with all sorts of disabilities, challenges, issues, whatever, whether it's physical, cognitive, psychosocial, emotional, behavioral, mental health. The horses help in all of those areas, and we have a number of different programs that focus on specific areas. So we do therapeutic driving and riding, which is more inclusive. So we're working on many different goals and objectives. It could be physical, cognitive, emotional, any of those. Equine assisted learning is more vocational and educational.
Okay.
May or may not involve riding. Equine facilitated psychotherapy is strictly for mental health goals and objectives. So that requires a mental health diagnosis, and we work with a clinician, a mental health provider.
Now the people that come to this, they're referred by professionals, medical professionals?
Many of them are referred by medical professionals or social service agencies, and many come to us by self-referral or word of mouth from somebody else.
You had mentioned the riding, so it's not just riding, it's learning more, it's beyond just getting on a horse, which I would love to do and just go take a ride in the woods. It's much more than that. Tell us a little bit about what that would be like.
So when we do an initial evaluation with a new client, we sit down with the client, the parent, whoever is involved, and we determine specific goals and objectives for the semester that we want to be working on. And it can be in any of the areas that we work in. And usually there's multiple goals and objectives. And then we work out a lesson plan that supports that.
Okay. Now, is it individual lessons or is it groups?
It's mostly groups, small groups.
Okay.
Most of our clients in their goals and objectives have a social component. So there may be times when it's most beneficial for the client, and we decide that it's best for them to have an individual lesson, but usually it's a group of 2 or 3.
Okay.
At the most 4, and that's for our more advanced riders that are
Been doing
riding independently and have a higher skill level.
Okay. So you're a nonprofit organization.
We are.
And as such, money is always an issue.
It is.
As is staff.
It
and,
is.
and I can say that because every single organization I've ever been a part of has that. How do you get staff? Do you have a lot of paid staff? Do you work with volunteers?
We have a small core group of paid staff. Most of them are independent contractors.
Okay.
So they work elsewhere or have other income streams, which they need because the pay here isn't extraordinary. I'm the only full-time staff member. Everyone else is an independent contractor, and we have a large group of volunteers that we couldn't manage without. They're fantastic.
Now, what do the volunteers do? What are some of their tasks?
We have a volunteer coordinator that sits down with them, and again, we look at goals and objectives and what they want to work in. So I'd say the majority of volunteers want to work in programs. So they're in the barn, they're handling horses, they're helping the students, they're physically helping them to stay centered and balanced on the horse or coaching them. Others just want to work outside on the facility. They're out cleaning paddocks or cleaning stalls or clearing trails or whatever. And then some others are helping in the office here or with development.
Okay. And with development, do you have any big projects, any big fundraisers coming up?
We have one major fundraiser every year. We do a farm to table to stable dinner.
Okay.
And we're working on developing some more. We have some things coming up.
When?
We have a conference coming up in May with the CC Institute. So we have this beautiful facility and conference room and everything. So we're starting to be able to use that more. We didn't have that before we purchased the property.
Okay.
And so, having this facility allows us to do many more things.
If other organizations wanted to use that conference room,
Absolutely.
They could rent it from you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's because that's
We
a fundraiser.
welcome that. We welcome that.
It's,
And that's an easy fundraiser.
yeah,
We can provide something that they need.
right. And it
Easily.
introduces a group to the to Horses Healing Humans. What other things could a volunteer do? I mean, is there something, how would they get involved? What would be the way? I mean, do they phone you, do they call?
The first is to contact our volunteer coordinator, Kristen LeClaire. For all of us, email is always the best way to contact us because we have our phones off if we're working with horses.
Okay.
Just for general safety, and we're not sitting in the office next to the phone as a general rule. That's something a volunteer could do, is sit in the office and be able to answer the phone for us.
So there are opportunities for
Sure.
somebody who can't go out and do that but
Sure.
wants to be around something like this.
Absolutely.
What would the best email address be for somebody to get in touch?
The general email address is horseshealinghumansinc@gmail.com.
Okay. So I'll
They
post.
can also email me directly, Lee Paradis @gmail.com.
Okay. And I'll post that on the site. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else that you'd like to tell us about Horses Healing Humans?
Well, our big project right now is getting our therapy space up and going. It's been delayed for about a year because we needed to do a lot of renovations in the space downstairs. But it's quite a large space, and it will house a physical and occupational therapy gym, office, massage and treatment room. We have a sauna down there, massage table, bathroom, waiting area, and also a mental health office.
So is this going to be geared towards the current clientele that you have?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's not.
We've found that with a number of our clients, especially if they have high or low tone, or if they have behavioral dysregulation, they need some time before their lesson, either to stretch or get organized or get grounded or whatever. So this space will give us an opportunity to do those things with them before they get down to the barn, so they're not using up half of their lesson time just getting positioned on the horse or getting behaviorally or emotionally prepared to get on the horse. So there have been times where a kid comes for his lesson and he's all wound up. He's been asked to sit still all day at school, and he's got so much energy going on that it's not safe to put him on a horse. He needs to actually run some laps around the arena until he gets settled, and then maybe we'll put him on the horse. If we can get that stuff done up here beforehand, then by the time they get down to the barn, they're able to get the maximum benefit from their entire lesson.
That's great.
So.
I don't know, I don't remember if I sent you my list of things, but I always, as a real estate agent, I love to ask this question because I've heard every horror story there is in real estate.
Okay.
I always like to ask the question, do you have a fun or funny or interesting story about real estate?
You know what? Actually, I do.
Okay.
And it was before we actually purchased this property. We were still renting it. We had just started renting the house in addition to the barn from the previous owner, knowing that the purchase date was coming up. So we were kind of getting the place ready. And there was a lot of weeds out on the back patio in between the pavers. And my husband decided he was going to use a torch to get rid of them. And one of the pine trees in back caught fire while he's doing it. And we're like, we don't own this place yet. I mean, not us personally, but the business doesn't own it yet. And we're burning down trees. And we were able to frantically get it out, but we're running around like nuts trying to find hoses because we had just moved here and didn't know where the hoses were. So we were able to successfully get the fire out and under control, but there's a spot out back where that's missing a tree in the landscaping.
You'll have to put it back someday. But all right, great. All right. Well, this has been a pleasure.
It's been fun. Thank you so
I
much.
look forward to
Great
getting it
meeting you.
online, and hopefully we can do
right.
some things together. If you want to get more information about Horses Healing Humans, stick around for another couple of seconds and I will be posting all of the information you need to know. And if you are thinking about buying or selling real estate and would like to have a conversation with me about that, I would love to have it. Thanks again and have a great day. If you'd like more information about Horses Healing Humans, they can be reached at 860-572-2942, or better yet, email them at horseshealinghumansinc@gmail.com. They're located at 340 New London Turnpike in Stonington, Connecticut, 06378. And their website is horseshealinghumanct.org. If you're somebody who's thinking about buying or selling real estate and would like to have a conversation with me, Dan Morantz, Realtor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, I'd be more than happy to. You can reach me at 401-487-6654 or email me at danmorantz@bhhsne.com. Thank you very much.